Hello and welcome to the Beardicus Show. My name is Beardicus and today I will be talking about A Hat in Time. Because, believe it or not, I don't only play Nintendo games. Also, you may have noticed that to mark this special occasion, I actually have a hat of my own. And no, it's not just because I got a haircut recently and I'm self-conscious about it. Why would you even think that? Anyway, Hat in Time is a recently released 3D platformer, which seemed to have become all the rage this year. Which is fine by me, I love 3D platformers. The game begins with Hat Kid waking up in her spaceship on her way home from, somewhere else, when she's accosted by the Mafia, who opens her spaceship window, and predictably this is not a good idea, as the Mafia, Hat Kid, and her timepiece fuel supply all get sucked out the window and scattered to the planet below. Well, it looks like Hat Kid is out of time. As you may have realized, this is not a particularly serious game. In fact, it's pretty silly. From Hat Kid taunting these big Mafia goons as she runs by, to the Mafia goons who sit down to play patty cake with her. And then they punch her in the face. Well, that was rude. One of the best parts about this game are the memorable characters. Like this character, this girl with a mustache, mustache girl. She starts out all friendly and helpful, but she's secretly a villain. Well, maybe not secretly, I mean it's pretty obvious, right? I mean she has facial hair. And she's named after that facial hair. That's how you know someone's evil. Wait. But there's one character who I thought was pretty cool, not because of the character, but actually because of the voice.
Oh, hey, little chirper.
Check it out, it's JonTron. Now, I know that JonTron got a little, controversial this year, so I think I'm actually done talking about this now. Let's move on to the next topic, which is time. Yes, it's time to talk about time. I mean, after all, time is in the title of the game. The main collectibles are timepieces, and those timepieces are shown to be able to manipulate time. And in fact, a recurring villain motive throughout the game is stealing the timepieces to control time. Time plays a big role in this game. Well, theoretically. The thing is that nothing ever really comes from this. You don't get any time-bending powers. Well, okay, you get one, but that's different. What I'm talking about is how the timepieces are the main collectible in this game, and they're used to open new levels. But the levels don't really play into the time aspect. The levels are just levels. They're not like different time periods or anything. You're traveling through space, not time. I just think it would have been cool if the different levels had you traveling through time. So like the first level could be a normal level that takes place in the present day. But then the next level would be like a medieval themed level. And then the next one could be like in the Stone Age. And then the next one could be like in a futuristic city. And then at the end of the game, you could have a level where, due to the villains messing around with time and all the different levels, time itself has started falling apart, so the end of the game takes place in a level that's made up of like bits and pieces of all the other levels, or even just, I don't know, outside of time altogether. Hey, look, I just think it would have been cool. And you know what? If you ever make a Hat in Time too, you can just have that idea completely free. There are 4 worlds in this game, and each one works slightly differently from the others. Worlds 1 and 3 work like Super Mario Sunshine. In other words, every mission takes place on the same level, but there will be differences in the level depending on which mission you select, which makes it so that you can only complete a mission when you select that specific mission. World 2, on the other hand, works more like Super Mario Galaxy, where each mission will actually send you to smaller, more linear levels, where if it weren't for the story arc that holds that world together, you'd have no reason to believe all of the missions were related at all. And finally, World 4 works like Banjo-Kazooie. You're dropped into a large open world, you have a few missions to complete, but you're allowed to complete them in whatever order you want, and you don't have to return to the hub between each mission. Each mission, even those in the more open levels, are very linear, meaning that 90% of those wide open worlds will not be explored on a given mission unless, you just sort of wander off. Which I did. A lot. And that's how I ended up with 2 new hats in addition to the one you start with before the game explained how hats work. And then berated me for only having 1 hat, even though, like I said, I actually had 3. Hats, by the way, are very important to this game. Not only do they make you look cool, they also grant you new abilities. For example, the Witch Hat lets you throw exploding potions to destroy certain boxes and barrels and stuff. You start with only Hat Kid's hat, but as you play the game, you'll find yarn balls that you can use to craft new hats. You can only use a hat ability while wearing the corresponding hat, and you can only wear 1 hat at a time, but you can switch hats whenever you want. In addition to the 5 or so missions in each world, there are also 3 additional secret missions called Time Rifts, of which there are 2 types. The first type seems to have been based on Psychonauts. There's 1 in each world, and if you find it, it will send you to these little challenge missions where you have to find these little crown thingies to progress to the end. You can also go out of your way to look for these, photographs, I guess? And if you find all of them, you can actually learn a bit of backstory about the characters or the level that you're on. Or I guess you could just talk to the characters in the level, and you'll basically learn all of the same information. The other type of rift is a bit more simplistic. There are 2 of these in each level, but they're just standard platforming challenges similar to what you'd see in Super Mario Sunshine. Look, they even have the rolling things from Rico Harbor. But maybe you're the type that doesn't like to blindly run around a huge world in a vain, hopeless search to find some small orb hidden in some small, dark alley in the back corner of the level that you'd never find. Well, if that's the case, fear not, because you can select the rift on the mission select screen, and it'll show you a picture of the orb in the level. And then you can use this picture to try to find the rift yourself. Although some of the rifts are still fairly difficult to find, I believe in you, and I have faith that you can find them all. Plus, worst case scenario, even if you can't, you can just look up where they are online. I mean, I won't think any less of you if you do that. And when you find and complete a secret rift mission, you're actually rewarded with a little bonus slot machine minigame, where you can earn new remixes to the background music, color palettes for your clothes, and skins for your hats. There are a couple of other points I want to go over really quickly. First, the sit and relax feature works perfectly. Also, each mission has its own title card that pops up on the loading screen, and they're all very nice, and my eyes enjoyed looking at them. And then there's the jumping. Yes, the jumping is going to get an actual mention in this video. The game gives you a lot of jumping abilities. You get a standard jump, a mid-air jump, a dive cancel, and a wall climbing ability, which also doubles as a wall jump. And this is a double-edged sword. More abilities are always good, as long as they're all fun and useful. But if a player uses these abilities in a way that the designers hadn't intended, it can sort of break the game just a little. For example, careful use of the double jump dive cancel wall climb combo can give you just enough extra air to get to areas that maybe weren't meant to be gotten to. Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to be up here. As with any game, there were a few issues I had with this one. Like in the first level, when you first meet up with Mustache Girl, if you don't climb to her in a specific way, it doesn't count. I was actually stuck here for about 15 minutes because I didn't notice the button I was supposed to press. Well, granted, I was actually running around goofing off for most of that time, but it still took me a while to figure out what I was doing wrong. Also, the cartoony graphics made lining up some jumps kinda difficult. This was most problematic when trying to jump to wires or to other small platforms. It certainly caused me to fall more than a few times. Not that that's a big deal, as falling in this game doesn't kill you, it only does 1 damage, and even if you do die, death is barely a setback, you just kinda get back up with full health. There are no lives in this game, which means no game overs and no lost progress. Ultimately, I love this game. Like, I know Yooka-Laylee was supposed to be the big revival of the 3D platformer, but then more than a few people were a bit disappointed by it. Heck, I was a little disappointed by it. I enjoyed it, it just wasn't exactly what I wanted. But A Hat in Time actually was exactly what I wanted. A Hat in Time was more of what I wanted Yooka-Laylee to be than what Yooka-Laylee was. So if you were disappointed by Yooka-Laylee, I highly recommend A Hat in Time. Or if you liked Yooka-Laylee, I also highly recommend A Hat in Time, because then you'll enjoy 2 games. Or if you never played a Yooka-Laylee, then I also recommend A Hat in Time, because there's nothing saying that you have to play Yooka-Laylee to play A Hat in Time. In fact, I shouldn't have even brought up Yooka-Laylee, because it has nothing to do with this game. But I'm going to keep this in, because I don't feel like re-recording it. Was that too honest?
Oh,
I'm going to keep it anyway. This game is fun, it's charming, it's got hats. What more could you possibly want? Did you answer sunglasses? Admittedly, you probably didn't, but just in case, that's right, you can wear sunglasses. Wait, you can wear 2 sunglasses? How could this possibly get any better? Unless... No, I have to try. Oops. Uh-oh. Oh, I can't afford this. Run, ahead, kid, run! Well, it looks like I'm going to be farming for those little diamond orb things for a while. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed that video, you can check out some of my other videos. Or you could even subscribe to be notified when I upload my next video. Oh, they found me. Okay, I gotta go. My name's Beardicus, and this has been The Beardicus Show. Thanks for watching. Goodbye!